Have you ever felt that the world doesn't quite work the way you've been told? You see it in the symbols on our currency, in the grand architecture of our oldest cities, and in the strange coincidences that shape our history. This is the world of secret societies, the Freemasons, the Illuminati, the Knights Templar. What if these brotherhoods have been the true architects of our world, shaping everything from revolutions to science and art? In this journey, we will pull back the curtain and venture into this world of shadows. The truth, as we will discover, is often stranger and more compelling than any myth. The allure of secret societies is rooted in human curiosity. We are drawn to what is hidden. The secret society is the ultimate unsolved mystery, promising access to forbidden knowledge. Consider the symbols that surround us every day: the all-seeing eye, the square and compasses, the obelisks, hidden in plain sight for all to see, but for few to understand. This is their genius, to operate openly while remaining completely concealed. This duality is what makes them so captivating. The standard narrative of history is one of great men, great battles, and great ideas. We are taught that nations are born from the will of the people, and that progress is a natural, almost inevitable, march forward. But the lore of secret societies presents a different, more deliberate version of events. In this telling, history is not an accident. It is a design, a grand project conceived and executed over generations by small, dedicated groups working behind the scenes. They see themselves not as conspirators, but as guardians or architects, guiding humanity toward a specific, predetermined destiny. Think about the pivotal moments that changed the world forever. The Enlightenment, which championed reason and individual liberty. The American Revolution, which created a new kind of nation founded on radical ideals. The French Revolution, which toppled a monarchy and rewrote the rules of power in Europe. According to many researchers and even some historical accounts, the fingerprints of secret societies are all over these events. Men like Voltaire, Benjamin Franklin, and George Washington were not just political leaders. They were also high-ranking members of fraternities like the Freemasons, sharing ideas and strategies in the privacy of their lodges. These lodges and secret meetings served as incubators for revolutionary thought. In an age of absolute monarchs and rigid church dogma, they were safe havens where radical ideas could be discussed freely, away from the prying eyes of the state. The concepts of liberty, equality, and fraternity, the very cornerstones of modern democracy, were allegedly refined and popularized within these hidden circles. The societies provided a network, a structure, and a shared philosophy that allowed these ideas to spread across continents and ignite the flames of revolution. They didn't just participate in history, they arguably engineered it. This raises a profound and unsettling question. How much of our world was built on a blueprint we've never been allowed to see? If the foundations of our modern governments and societies were laid in secret, what other plans are still in motion? This is the core of the enduring fascination. It reframes our entire understanding of the past and, by extension, our present and future. It suggests that we may be living within a grand design, a carefully constructed reality, without ever realizing who the true architects are or what their ultimate goal for us might be. So why investigate this now? In our modern world of instant information and global connectivity, the idea of a secret seems almost quaint. Yet, interest in these hidden orders has never been higher. Blockbuster movies, best-selling novels, and countless online forums are dedicated to unraveling their mysteries. This isn't just entertainment. It reflects a growing distrust of official institutions and a deep-seated feeling that we are not being told the whole truth. When the world feels chaotic and unpredictable, the idea of a hidden order, even a malevolent one, can be strangely comforting. It implies that someone, somewhere, is in control. The challenge, of course, is evidence. Secret societies are, by their very nature, secret. They don't keep public records. Their most important activities are deliberately undocumented, their oaths sworn to be kept until death, and sometimes beyond. What we are left with is a trail of breadcrumbs, cryptic symbols, anonymous testimony, leaked documents of questionable authenticity, and the accounts of defectors who are often discredited or silenced. Sifting through this material requires a careful balance. We must be open-minded enough to see the patterns, but skeptical enough to avoid falling for elaborate hoaxes and misinformation. This is the great tightrope walk of any investigation into this shadowy world. It is a landscape filled with traps for the unwary. Conspiracy theories can become an echo chamber, where speculation is repeated so often that it begins to sound like fact. Disinformation, sometimes allegedly spread by the societies themselves, is used to muddy the waters and lead researchers down false paths. To get to the heart of the matter, we have to ask the right questions. We must demand proof, look for corroboration, and follow the influence not through rumor, but through demonstrable connections and outcomes in the real world. Our expedition begins now. We will journey back in time, to the dusty origins of these mysterious brotherhoods. We will examine their most sacred symbols and decode their hidden meanings. We will trace their influence through the corridors of power, from the courts of kings to the halls of modern government. We will confront the myths, interrogate the legends, and uncover the documented facts. The goal is not to prove a single overarching conspiracy. It is to understand the profound and undeniable role that secrecy, ritual, and hidden networks have played in writing our history, and the history that is still being written today. To understand secret societies, we travel back to the Holy Land nearly 1,000 years ago. Here, the Knights Templar were born. They protected pilgrims, but their mission was far more secret. They became immensely wealthy, creating the world's first international banking system. Rumors spread they sought holy relics beneath Solomon's temple. They were the blueprint for a global society with a hidden agenda. Their story is the first chapter in the history of secret orders. By the early 14th century, the Templars were wealthier than most nations, making enemies and tempting King Philip IV of France. On Friday, October 13, 1307, Philip had Templars all across France arrested, charging them with heresy. The order's Grand Master, Jacques de Molay, was burned at the stake. The Templar Order was officially disbanded, its vast properties seized. But did it really end? The Order's fleet, treasure, and archives vanished. One theory suggests they fled to Scotland, aiding Robert the Bruce. Did the Templar knowledge survive, transforming into a new secret society like the Freemasons? Their legacy of secrecy carried forward. In the wake of the Templars, Europe's thirst for knowledge and change gave rise to the Freemasons. Modern Freemasonry began in 1717, when London lodges united, evolving from stonemason guilds into a fraternity of thinkers and influencers. Their tools, square, compasses, level, became symbols for building character and society, not just cathedrals. The lodge was a rare place where men of all classes met as equals, sharing radical ideas of liberty and reason. Some Masonic rites even wove in Templar legends, blurring myth and history to claim a noble heritage. Whether by direct descent or inspiration, the Freemasons became torchbearers for secret brotherhood and grand purpose. Masonic lodges became incubators for revolution, connecting thinkers across Europe and America. Founding fathers like Washington and Franklin were Masons, embedding their ideals into the U.S. Constitution and national symbols. The democratic structure of the lodge inspired new governments, while religious tolerance became a founding principle. Masonic influence shaped not just America, but also the French Revolution, echoing in the cry liberty, equality, fraternity. While not conspirators, Masons provided the networks and philosophy that fueled change. Their secrecy bred suspicion. Were they architects of freedom or a shadowy power? The mystique of Freemasonry would spark centuries of conspiracy and fascination. The Illuminati, synonymous with shadowy control, were real, founded in 1776 by Adam Weishaupt in Bavaria. Weishaupt's enlightened ones sought to topple monarchies and the church, infiltrating Masonic lodges to spread radical change. Their secretive network grew rapidly, alarming authorities who banned and exposed them by 1785. Officially, the Illuminati vanished within a decade, but rumors of their survival and hidden influence exploded. Did they disappear, or simply go deeper underground? The Illuminati's legend endures, fueling endless theories of a secret elite pulling the world's strings. Their name became a symbol for the ultimate conspiracy. While Masons built societies, the Rosicrucians offered a mystical quest for hidden wisdom. Emerging from mysterious pamphlets, they told of Christian Rosenkreuz, who returned from the East with secret knowledge. The Rosicrucians were less an organization, more a movement, an invisible college seeking unity of science, art, and spirituality. Their influence touched great minds like Bacon and Newton, blending science and mysticism. With no members to arrest or headquarters to raid, their true power was in inspiring seekers across Europe. The Rosicrucian ideal, a brotherhood of the mind, forever searching for forbidden knowledge. Secret societies became the engine rooms of revolution. where dangerous ideas could flourish. Masonic lodges united men of all backgrounds, building trust and networks vital for plotting change. Their rituals and secrecy taught organization, loyalty, and how to resist authority. Figures like Franklin used these networks to forge alliances and spread revolutionary plans. The structure of these societies became blueprints for revolutionary committees and underground movements. Lessons learned in the lodges helped topple monarchies and reshape the world. The Enlightenment's boldest ideas thrived in secret societies, safe from censors and tyrants. Lodges became laboratories for debate, science, and reform, spreading new philosophies person to person. In Paris, these candlelit rooms buzzed with talk of liberty, equality, and practical revolution. The Illuminati took secrecy further, infiltrating institutions to steer society from within. Whether they succeeded or not, their methods and ideals shaped every major revolution that followed. The shadow of these societies loomed over the birth of the modern world. The American Revolution's leaders, Washington, Franklin, Revere, were Masons, their bonds forged in secret lodges. Groups like the Sons of Liberty borrowed Masonic codes and rituals to organize resistance and evade British spies. Even the Boston Tea Party was planned with secret society tactics. Masonic symbols, like the all-seeing eye, found their way onto the Great Seal, hinting at hidden influence. The first capital cornerstone was laid in a Masonic ceremony, and early American government was filled with brothers of the craft. Whether by design or chance, the ideals of merit, brotherhood, and liberty became the nation's foundation. Across the Atlantic, the fires of revolution were spreading. In France, the old order was collapsing under the weight of debt, famine, and a rising tide of new ideas. In the salons and lodges of Paris, secret societies flourished. Freemasons, Rosicrucians, and other clubs provided both the ideology and the organization needed to take on a kingdom. The French lodges were different from their English or American cousins. They were more openly political, and many members belonged to radical clubs as well. The slogans of the revolution, liberté, égalité, fraternité, echoed the teachings of the lodge. Key revolutionaries such as the Duc d'Orléans and the Marquis de Lafayette were prominent Freemasons. Secret society networks allowed revolutionaries to coordinate their actions, share intelligence, and form alliances across class lines. The rituals and codes of these societies fostered loyalty, helping to keep conspiracies secret even when the guillotine loomed. The Jacobin Club, the engine of the Reign of Terror, was not officially a Masonic lodge, but it borrowed many Masonic practices. Robespierre and other leaders used secret ballots, hand signals, and coded language. The architecture of the revolution itself, small cells, secret committees, and layered leadership, bore the unmistakable imprint of secret society organization. As the monarchy fell and a republic rose, the influence of these hidden brotherhoods was everywhere. Yet not all shared the same vision. Factions formed, betrayals multiplied, and the revolution devoured many of its own children. The same secrecy that protected revolutionaries also sheltered conspiracies within conspiracies. Some say the Illuminati were active in France, guiding events from the shadows. Whether fact or fiction, the belief in secret hands behind the revolution would become a powerful legend, shaping the way history was told for centuries to come. Did secret societies really orchestrate revolutions, or were they simply places where revolutionaries met? The evidence is mixed and the answers elusive. What is clear is that the ideas born in the lodges, liberty, equality, fraternity, spread like wildfire. From the American colonies to the streets of Paris and onto Italy, Germany, and Latin America, secret societies played a role in connecting like-minded individuals across borders. The Carbonari in Italy, for example, modeled themselves after the Freemasons and became famous for their role in the struggle for Italian unification. Their rituals, symbols, and secret oaths were direct descendants of older societies. In Spain and Latin America, lodges and clubs nurtured the leaders of independence movements. Even in Russia, secret societies plotted for change. Their influence felt in the Decembrist uprising of 1825. Critics argue that these links are just coincidences, the result of educated men using the same social clubs. But the patterns are hard to ignore. The same symbols, the same methods, the same language of brotherhood and secrecy appear again and again. Whether by design or by accident, the world was being remade in the image of the lodge. Secret societies provided a template for revolution, safe, trusted, and proven. Yet there is another side. The The secrecy that made these societies so effective also made them easy targets for paranoia and suspicion. Rumors of hidden agendas and puppet masters multiplied. Monarchies and religious authorities saw secret societies as existential threats and often responded with repression, sometimes brutally. This cycle of suspicion and secrecy would shape the politics of the 19th century and beyond. As the 19th century dawned, the influence of secret societies was everywhere. Kings and emperors were gone or in retreat. New nations were rising, built on the ideals once whispered in secret. But the societies themselves did not disappear. Instead, they adapted, shifting their focus from open revolution to subtler forms of influence. Freemasons, Rosicrucians, and countless offshoots continued to attract the powerful and the ambitious. In government, business, and the military, membership in a secret society became a mark of trust and prestige. Networks forged in the lodge opened doors and created alliances that spanned the globe. Some societies, like the Skull and Bones at Yale or the Bohemian Club in California, became famous for their influence on the elite. Others remained so secretive that their very existence was debated. Rumors of secret agendas and hidden rulers only grew. Some believed a new world order was being forged behind closed doors, a world run not by elected officials, but by brotherhoods answerable only to themselves. Evidence for this is hard to find, but the belief itself became a powerful force. Politicians accused their rivals of secret society membership, and anti-Masonic parties sprang up in the United States and Europe. Today, the symbols of these societies are everywhere, from the dollar bill to the cornerstones of our cities. Their rituals and codes live on in new forms: fraternities, think tanks, even internet subcultures. The true extent of their power remains mysterious. Are they benevolent guardians of tradition or shadowy rulers of the world? The truth, as always, is hidden in the shadows where these societies have always worked, shaping history, one secret at a time. Have you ever felt like you were missing something in plain sight? This is the world of symbolism, the primary language of secret societies. For centuries, these groups have used symbols to communicate complex ideas and embed their philosophy into our culture. To the uninitiated, the square and compasses of the Freemasons might just look like tools. Every symbol, from the all-seeing eye to the Rosicrucian Rose Cross, functions as a public emblem with a private, deeper meaning. It was a brilliant strategy for survival and influence. Suddenly, the architecture of our cities and the logos of modern corporations can take on a new significance. Are these symbols still active messages from a hidden hand that is still shaping our world? There is perhaps no single place on Earth where the language of secret societies is more loudly and boldly spoken than in the design of Washington, D.C. The capital of the United States was not built by accident. It was a planned city, a blank canvas upon which its creators could project their grandest visions for the new republic. And many of those creators, including President George Washington, who oversaw the project, and the city's designer, Pierre-Charles L'Enfant, were high-ranking Freemasons. They didn't just build a city, they built a statement, a massive, sprawling testament to their ideals, encoded with their most sacred symbols. From a bird's-eye view, the layout of the city's streets, monuments, and federal buildings reveals a stunning and deliberate geometry. Researchers have traced patterns that seem to perfectly outline key Masonic symbols. The White House, the Capitol Building, and the Washington Monument form a clear right angle, a representation of the Mason's square. Other alignments between key landmarks appear to trace a pentagram, a symbol associated with various esoteric traditions, and even the points of the Masonic compasses. Are these simply coincidences born from a practical grid layout, as mainstream historians suggest? Or is it a deliberate symbolic blueprint? The evidence for a deliberate design is compelling. L'Enfant's original plans were deeply rooted in the Baroque city planning of Europe, which often used geometry and sightlines to express power and order. But in Washington, this tradition was given a distinctly American and Masonic twist. The wide avenues and grand vistas were designed to create a sense of enlightened, rational order, reflecting the core principles of the Enlightenment that were so cherished in the Masonic lodges. The city itself was intended to be a physical manifestation of the Masonic project, building a more perfect society or a new order of the ages. This idea of a city as a symbolic text is not new, but Washington, D.C. is perhaps its most ambitious example. It suggests that the very ground beneath the feet of American power was consecrated with a secret geometry, its purpose known only to the initiated. Every day, millions of people walk and drive along these streets, completely unaware of the massive symbols they are tracing with their movements. It stands as a powerful reminder that the most profound secrets are often not buried in a vault, but are laid out before our very eyes, waiting for someone to connect the dots. The buildings and monuments of Washington, D.C. are saturated with symbolic meaning, drawing on traditions far older than Freemasonry itself. Take the Washington Monument, a perfect Egyptian obelisk, a form that dates back thousands of years to the sun worship of ancient Egypt. The obelisk represents stability, divine light, and the enduring legacy of the great architect of the universe. The dome is a classical architectural feature, tracing its roots to ancient Rome's pantheon, a temple to all the gods. The architecture of power speaks a consistent language. It tells a story of a nation founded not just on political documents, but on a deep, esoteric tradition. The United States $1 bill is more than just currency. It is a portable tapestry of esoteric symbolism, and it has fueled conspiracy theories for generations. On the left, we see the unfinished pyramid. Floating above the pyramid is the all-seeing eye. Officially, it represents the Eye of Providence, a benevolent god watching over the nation. But for centuries, it has also been a key symbol for the Freemasons and the Illuminati. Below the pyramid are the Latin words Novus Ordo Seclorum, a new order of the ages. But to a conspiracy theorist, the phrase sounds chillingly similar to the New World Order. The world of power and finance may be intertwined with a world of secrets we are not meant to understand. The influence of secret societies has seeped into our culture, shaping stories and art. Writers and painters have long been captivated by these hidden brotherhoods, embedding symbols into their work. Mozart's The Magic Flute is a Masonic allegory, broadcasting core teachings disguised as a fairy tale. Secret societies became a staple of popular fiction, with books like The Da Vinci Code taking the world by storm. They tap into our collective suspicion that powerful secrets are being kept from us, ensuring their mystique endures. In our hyper-connected digital age, the way we encounter the symbols and legends of secret societies has fundamentally changed. The role once played by mysterious pamphlets and allegorical operas has now been taken over by the internet. Online forums, documentary-style videos, and social media have become the new breeding grounds for myth-making. Information and misinformation about the Freemasons, the Illuminati, and other groups spreads at the speed of light, reaching a global audience and creating vast collaborative webs of conspiracy theories that are constantly evolving. This new digital landscape has democratized the search for secrets. Anyone with an internet connection can become a researcher, poring over satellite images of Washington, D.C., analyzing the symbols on corporate logos, or dissecting the hand gestures of world leaders for hidden meanings. This has led to an explosion of interest and a wealth of new theories, some insightful, others outlandish. The internet acts as a massive echo chamber, where a fringe idea can quickly be amplified until it appears to be a well-established fact, blurring the lines between credible investigation and pure speculation more than ever before. Modern entertainment continues to be a powerful force in shaping our perception of these groups. Video games like the Assassin's Creed series build their entire narrative around the millennia-long secret war between the Assassins and the Templars. Blockbuster movies like National Treasure turn the search for Masonic secrets into a thrilling family adventure. These forms of media act as a gateway, introducing complex esoteric ideas to a new generation in an accessible and exciting format. They are the new myth-makers, blending historical fact with fiction to create a compelling and persistent modern legend. Ultimately, the enduring power of these symbols and legends tells us something profound about ourselves. We are drawn to mystery. We are inherently suspicious of concentrated power. We crave narratives that give meaning and order to a world that often feels chaotic and random. The secret society provides the perfect narrative framework for these human needs. Whether they are benevolent guardians of ancient wisdom or sinister puppet masters, their symbols continue to challenge us to look closer, to question the official story, and to wonder what secrets are still waiting to be discovered just beneath the surface of our reality. The 20th century was an age of anxiety, defined by wars and the constant threat of nuclear annihilation. In this climate, old suspicions about secret societies found fertile new ground. The idea that events were secretly orchestrated became an attractive explanation. This was the beginning of the modern conspiracy boom. The Cold War created a perfect environment, with spies and covert operations, Writers linked the Illuminati and Freemasons to contemporary events. This period saw the rise of the conspiracy exposed. Events like the Kennedy assassination confirmed suspicions that the public was being lied to. The belief in a secret society pulling the strings was no longer a fringe idea. Books and movies launched secret societies into the global spotlight. They transformed complex theories into thrilling narratives, packaging ancient secrets and powerful symbols as blockbuster entertainment. The Da Vinci Code was a turning point, blending fact and fiction and introducing esoteric concepts to a mass audience. Hollywood reinforced this idea. Movies turned Masonic history into adventure, reinforcing that history is a treasure map and secret societies hold the key. This media changed the public perception of secret societies, making them synonymous with adventure and high-stakes conspiracy. They primed a new generation to look for secrets. Just as popular culture was making secret societies famous, a new technology was emerging that would change the game entirely: the internet. If books and movies were the gateway, the internet was, honestly, the rabbit hole. A seemingly endless, interconnected maze of information, speculation, and community. The advent of forums, blogs, and early social media in the late 1990s and early 2000s created a space where believers in secret society conspiracies could find each other, share research, and build on each other's theories in real time. The search for truth was no longer a solitary pursuit. It was a collaborative, global effort. The internet democratized conspiracy. You no longer needed a book deal or a film crew to share your ideas with the world. Anyone with a keyboard could become a digital detective. People began using new tools like Google Earth to scan the streets of Washington, D.C. for Masonic patterns. They created websites dedicated to decoding corporate logos for Illuminati symbolism. Video platforms like YouTube became libraries of homemade documentaries, presenting complex theories with compelling visuals and dramatic music. A single, well-made video could go viral, introducing millions to an idea that had previously been confined to a small community of believers. This new digital ecosystem also created a powerful echo chamber effect. Algorithms designed to keep users engaged would recommend more and more content related to what they had already watched. A casual interest in the Freemasons could quickly lead a person down a path to more extreme theories about the Illuminati, alien overlords, and, reptilian elites. In this environment, speculation could easily harden into conviction, as users were constantly presented with evidence that confirmed their growing beliefs. The lines between credible research, wild theory, and deliberate disinformation became hopelessly blurred, making it nearly impossible to distinguish fact from fantasy. The result is a modern landscape where the myth of secret societies is more potent and pervasive than ever before. It has become a kind of open-source folklore, constantly being rewritten, remixed, and reinterpreted by a global community of digital mythmakers. The legends of the Templars and the Illuminati are no longer just historical stories. They are living narratives, adapting to new events and anxieties. The internet ensures that these old ghosts will continue to haunt our collective imagination, their whispers amplified and echoed through the vast, interconnected corridors of the digital world. What evidence exists for the power of secret societies? The task is tough because these groups are secretive. The most concrete evidence is in membership. Many influential people were members of groups like the Freemasons. These societies created powerful, elite networks. We can trace the core tenets of Freemasonry: liberty, equality, fraternity. These became the foundational principles of the Enlightenment and modern Western democracies. The deliberate use of Masonic symbols in places like Washington, D.C. is undeniable. The founders felt it important to embed their fraternity's philosophy into the very stones of the Republic. So, where does this leave us? We're caught between two extremes: mainstream history and grand conspiracy theories. The truth lies somewhere in the murky territory between. In a chaotic world, the idea of a secret order provides a compelling narrative. Ultimately, we live in the shadow of a powerful myth, and the full story is always more complex than we're told. The secrets are still out there, waiting for those willing to look. Our journey through history's corridors draws to a close. We've followed whispers and symbols, from warrior monks to revolutionary lodges, and into modern digital rabbit holes. Did secret societies write our history? It's a complex tapestry of fact, legend, influence, and mystery. The world wasn't shaped by a single cabal, but by networks nurtured in lodges. They provided space for radical ideas, refining concepts of democracy and liberty. Freemasons and Rosicrucians created international networks, allowing revolutionary thoughts to cross borders. They built the infrastructure for world-changing revolutions, drawing an unseen blueprint. History includes secret meetings and hidden symbols. Beneath the surface lies a story of men shaping the world from the shadows. Why do secret societies still hold such a powerful grip on our imagination? It's because they tap into our relationship with the unknown. The lore of secret societies offers a powerful alternative. Behind the chaos, there is an order. The secrecy itself is a source of immense power. For members, it forges an unbreakable bond. For outsiders, it creates an irresistible allure. What are they hiding? What forbidden knowledge do they possess? As long as there is power, there will be secrecy and suspicion. They are living symbols in our collective consciousness. Their true power lies in the vast and shadowy space they occupy within our own minds. As we look toward the future, it's clear that the age of secrets is far from over. It's simply changing its form. The secret societies of tomorrow may not meet in stone lodges or use ancient rituals. Their meeting places are now encrypted servers, and their secret handshakes are lines of code. The new brotherhoods are being forged in the digital ether, on the dark web, and in closed-off networks of global finance, technology, and intelligence. The fundamental principles remain the same. A select group, bound by a shared secret or purpose, operating beyond the view of the public. The questions we must ask are evolving as well. Who are the new architects? Are they the tech billionaires who are designing algorithms that shape what we see, think, and feel? Are they the faceless traders who can move markets and topple economies with the click of a button? Are they the intelligence agencies that collect vast amounts of our personal data, creating a surveillance network that the Bavarian Illuminati could only have dreamed of? These new centers of power operate with a level of secrecy and influence that rivals any historical society, yet they often lack even the philosophical or moral codes that guided the Masons of the past. The mysteries are also deepening in the physical world. As our technology for exploration improves, we may yet uncover answers to some of history's oldest secrets. Will we ever find the lost treasure of the Knights Templar? Will new archaeological discoveries beneath the Temple Mount in Jerusalem finally reveal what they were truly searching for? Will a lost document emerge from a forgotten archive that rewrites everything we think we know about these groups? The past is not a closed book. It's an active investigation scene, and new clues are being unearthed all the time, promising that the story is not yet finished. This is the great, enduring adventure of our quest. The search for knowledge, both ancient and new, is a journey without a final destination. For every question we answer, two more emerge from the shadows. The legacy of the secret societies teaches us that there is always another layer to peel back, another symbol to decode, another hidden room to discover. The world is far more mysterious than it appears on the surface. And the next great secret, the one that could change everything, may be waiting just around the corner, ready for a new generation of seekers to find it. We've traveled from the past into the present, guided by the faint light of esoteric symbols and historical whispers. We've seen how secret fraternities provided the philosophical fuel for revolutions and how their symbolic language became embedded in the very architecture of power. We've explored how their legends have been amplified and transformed by popular culture and the internet, becoming a powerful modern mythology. They may not have been the single, all-powerful puppet masters of conspiracy lore, but their influence on the world we know today is undeniable. They helped to write the history we were never meant to read. The story of secret societies is ultimately a story about power. It's about the power of ideas to change the world, the power of secrecy to protect those ideas, and the power of networks to put them into action. It demonstrates that small groups of dedicated individuals, united by a common vision and bound by trust, can indeed alter the course of history. Whether their intentions were benevolent or self-serving, whether they were guardians of wisdom or conspirators for control, they proved that the most significant changes often begin far from the public eye, in the quiet, hidden spaces where the future is planned. This leaves us with one final and perhaps most important question. It's not a question for the past, but for ourselves right now. As we stand here today, in a world of unprecedented complexity and rapid change, who are the secret societies of our time? Who is meeting in secret to decide the course of our future? Are we living through a history that is being written by a new, unseen hand? And if so, are we content to simply live within their design? Or will we choose to look closer, to question more, and to seek out the truth for ourselves, no matter where it leads? The trail of secrets does not end here. It never ends. It simply leads to new doors, new mysteries, and new questions. The history of the world is full of hidden chapters, and the next one is being written as we speak. The only real choice we have is whether to be passive readers of that history or to become active explorers in our own right. The truth is out there. The question is, are you willing to find it? The whispers are all around you. All you have to do is learn how to listen.